We understand that a plane has crashed into the World Trade Center. We don't know anything more than that. We don't know if it was a commercial aircraft.
12 miles to the east of Denver is the scene of a shooting.
Deadliest mass
Police there were called shortly after midnight.
What did Iraq have to do with what?
The attack on the World Trade Center.
Nothing.
Hey, what's good, people? It is Red Flag Media, and first and foremost, I want to give a shout out to the Torah Knights for having me on their platform over last weekend. It started as a discussion talking about the Hebrew Israelite camps. We also talked about the most recent school shootings over in Florida. And then one of the brothers, Judah Nazareth, brought up the flat earth, and him coming from the perspective of the globe. It turned naturally into somewhat of a heated discussion.
OTT, I'm going to address him on, I love you, brother, but you're a liar, bruh, because we catch you on Flat Earth Society. Flat Earth Society was created by a Freemason. I saw you on those channels of them or whatever, on their supporting it. Okay? That's witchcraft. When I got on the Torah Knights about getting on Negi for studying books, but you apply that. And when I talk to you, you say, well, I can explain to you why it's daytime in America and nighttime in Japan. You're talking to a person who understands that time is circular and angular.
Bro, like, I'm sorry, but this is where I would have to interject. If you wanted to talk flat earth versus globe earth and you wanted to make it like bruh, like it's the globe is not gonna stand. Like I'm sorry, it's 100% not gonna stand to any sort of real scrutiny. It's gonna get dropped like straight. Nah, it can't stand up to real scrutiny. And like we could have an actual dialogue on it at some point. But it's like, I don't believe in the Flat Earth Society. That's obviously a Jesuit. It's like everything. You got gatekeepers in every walk of truth. But if we're talking about, you don't necessarily have to subscribe to the Flat Earth model. That's just a model that I take personally. But the heliocentric model that you subscribe to is just, it doesn't stand up. It doesn't stand up to the facts, man.
What orb governs the day?
The sun.
And what's it called, the greater or the lesser?
The greater.
Okay, so now we kill flat Earth. Are there hills and mountains and valleys and creeks and such and so forth and so on in the
Indeed,
Earth?
there are, yeah.
So then that kills flat. That's done.
Okay, come on. Look. We're not using technicalities. Obviously, there are terrain differences, but if we're talking about the plane of the Earth is stationary. And it is a plane, a planet. It is a plane. Yes, the station doesn't move.
It doesn't move.
Nope.
Do you realize that all things move on the Earth?
Yeah, all things do move on the Earth.
So how can you say that everything's stationary? Even you yourself are vibrating at a rate.
Oh yeah, but I'm talking about the Earth is still in its place. It's not spinning at thousands of miles per hour and then spinning around the sun and then spinning. This is nonsense. There's no vacuum of space. That is total garbage. That is trash.
There's no vacuum of space?
No, there's no vacuum of space.
What is the firmament made of?
I couldn't tell you what the firmament was made of, man.
Water.
No, the firmament isn't made of water. It divides the waters.
Do you know what the firmament is, sir?
Go on, enlighten me.
No, when you look up in the sky and you see the blue sky, do you know what that's made of?
The blue itself would be the waters above the firmament.
But is it in a solid form or in like a gaseous vapor form?
What, you talking about, like clouds or the atmosphere?
No, the blue, when you look up in the sky and you see the blue clear sky, what is that?
Are you talking about the atmosphere?
If you want to call it that, okay. You are surrounded by water.
Yeah. Okay.
Even the Earth itself is composed mostly of water. Your blood is composed of mostly water.
And I agree.
Yahweh brought all things through water.
And I agree.
When is water ever flat?
What do you mean, when is water always flat? Water is always flat in its basin. Try to find me water in its basin that curves. Find it. Have you
ever seen a raindrop?
Oh, come on, Judah. In its basin. I said in its basin, bro.
So like,
put water in a basin and make it curve. Yeah, make that curve.
I can't. It's shaped to. Right. It's shaped to.
Yeah. So curve it, Judah. Curve it into a ball. Curve it into a ball, Judah. If you can do that, then you've got a point. Otherwise, you don't.
It's round. I'm talking. Does everyone see here that it's round? It's shaped according to
its base. It's flat.
So the glass is the firmament.
It's flat. It's flat to its basin. It will never curve on the surface ever. That's just a fact. That's just a fact. Water is flat, is level on its basin. Always finds its level.
Are raindrops flat?
Is a raindrop in its basin? No, it's not. It's falling.
It's free, like the Earth. The Earth is not contained in some physical, like it's mostly water with physical added in.
It's an enclosed system. Listen. When Joshua made the sun and the moon stop, how does that work on a heliocentric model?
The Most High could have made the Earth stop.
Yeah, it made the Earth stop. So what happened to the rest of the solar system?
They're still spinning.
How?
The whole universe is in movement. You do know that, right?
Listen. If the sun and the moon stop for 3 days, how are the planets still moving?
How it can do everything.
Listen. The heliocentric model does not stand up to scrutiny.
Okay, let's go back to Genesis chapter 1. What is the great body of the heavens?
The great body of the heavens.
Sun. It's the sun, right?
Okay.
So how do you? Okay, now wait a minute. Is the Earth? Okay, wait. The moon is what's closer to the Earth, the sun or the moon?
I'm not sure.
You're not sure.
No, I wouldn't be able to. Well, like if we're talking about the heliocentric model, then apparently the moon is 213,000 miles away, which is bullshit, but is what it is. Sorry, I didn't mean to swear. But yeah,
that's not swearing. But do you know what the actual Hebrew year is? Like the actual Hebrew calendar is?
No, I don't. It's in the Book of Enoch, but I don't know it. Like what the year would be now. No, I don't.
It's 364 solar days and 354 lunar days.
Right.
Okay, so we're going back to the sun and moon again. There's a 10-day difference. So it would be like every 2 years you would have to like add on an extra lunar month to even it out those 10 days. Bruh, listen to me. You're dealing with curvature, like
there is no
science
curvature.
and mathematics.
No.
Bruh, listen. You're gonna be like talking, and you're gonna be like, where's the proof? In the book of Isaiah, it says the compass of the earth. The word is kawag. And you know this word is also used for when it says, you shall appear before me 3 times a year. And the word is kag, which means a revolution or a cycle, which is a circle. We all know 360 degrees, the Most High has 4 points. He shows this on the Mazabak, the 4 winds of heaven. So you have your 4 seasons. You have height, length, and width. There's no way the earth is flat. No way. Yah already tells you when he describes all the temple instruments, he always says it was such and such height, such and such length, and such width.
Mm-hmm.
So flat is just one dimension, but we don't live in a one-dimensional world.
Yeah, but you're not taking into when we say flat, we don't mean it's a completely flat terrain all the way. That's not. You're taking terrain into consideration, sure, but if we're saying that the land masses and the bodies and the oceans wrap itself around a ball and this ball is spinning, it doesn't make any sense. How you cannot fight for that. It's basically sun worship.
That's not sun worship, brother. They told you that the sun was used as a greater light. Bro,
yeah, it's a greater light for the earth. It's a greater light for the earth, not the earth is spinning around the sun and the sun is at the center of all things. That's nowhere in this book does it say that.
Okay, let me ask you a question. If I have a ball,
and
I have a flashlight, see this light right here?
Yeah.
I have a ball. Let's see my hand. See that the light is flashing on my hand.
Yeah.
Why is it dark underneath if it's flat?
Well, I can explain that to you because it says that because it says that the sun and the lights are within the firmament. We know that atmosphere works as a lens. The atmosphere has a lens property. So when the sun is within the firmament, I actually have a video on this where it shines on one side. It has like almost a caucus light effect. You've seen the light effect that happens in mugs. If you point an angle, a light towards a mug, it will have a caucus type light effect. That's what is happening. The lens, putting the light through the lens is changing the way the light appears, so it can cover only half of a flat plane. You can use this in experiment by using any kind of a glass dome or anything that has a lens property and putting it down on a surface and shining a light through it, and you will see exactly what I mean. And then revolve that light around it, and it will only light up a half a portion. And then if you move it closer or further away, then you can simulate the like the spring and the seasons, where the light appears and moves further away, shortens the days or lengthens the days. It's easily explainable using the lens effect of the atmosphere.
Right, which means you are using a glass. Now, there's no glass
No,
here. What
no,
we have
no,
is
no,
a
no.
light above. Hold on,
Listen.
brother. Hold on, brother.
Okay.
There's a light above. This is for you in OTT. This is called simple mathematics. There's a light above shining. Oh,
yeah.
Okay. There's a light above shining. See this here? Let's say this is the Earth.
Mm-hmm.
The light is shining on above, on top of this, and on the sides of it, the light is not shining so much. But underneath it, it is not. The only way that the underneath it would get some light is if it is in a constant state of motion. Now let's show the people. Hold on, brother. What time is it where you are?
It is 8 o'clock in the morning.
Okay, it is 5 o'clock in the afternoon here.
Yeah. So I don't see where you're going.
7:03 p.m.
If the Earth is flat, bro, if the Earth is flat, it would be all across the board. Like clearly, this light shining on the top of this lip gloss thingy, it's over the whole surface. There would not be a curvature of time with the light shining on top of this flat surface.
You haven't then you haven't understood what I've said. I didn't say it was made of glass. I'm saying the glass, as an experiment, can simulate the lens effect of the atmosphere. If you were pushing the light through the atmosphere as a lens effect, it will not cover the whole surface. If you put light through a lens, you can easily cover a partial part of the Earth. And if the sun is revolving, it will only cover, the light itself will only cover a portion of that, whatever it is you're shining the light through. It won't,
you mean
it will be completely dark. It will be completely dark.
You mean the Earth moving, not the sun?
No, the sun moving, not the Earth.
All the planets move around the sun. And our satellite is the moon.
No.
Let me ask a question. What shape are all the heavenly bodies? All of them.
Circular.
So how all of a sudden the Earth is not circular when it clearly it's common.
So there's a bunch of pool balls. No, this is what I'm doing. I'm literally answering your question.
I hate to interrupt you guys, but I'm just gonna go. You guys take it easy. Shalom. Have fun.
Shalom.
Take care, Nuggy.
Listen, you see a bunch of pool balls on the table. You say, look, all those pool balls are spheres, so the table must be a sphere.
No, that's not what I said.
But you're saying the heavenly bodies are circular, that the Earth is circular. Does that make any sense?
Yes. The Most High created all the heavenly bodies, even the stars. Are the stars circular or no?
Yeah, the stars are circular, yeah.
So all the heavenly bodies are circular, but the Earth is flat.
No, it's circular. The Earth is circular, but it's not a sphere. Why, those things in the sky are not spheres. They're not spheres. They're not spheres. They're
hey, you gotta explain that one.
Hey, but no, he said it wasn't flat. That it's circular.
Flat circle?
Which is like what I've been saying all along. Bruh, now listen. If you believe that the Earth is like somewhat shaped like this.
Yeah.
The fact of the matter is, okay, and that's fine. What I'm saying is, what difference does it make? Like OTT loves to talk about this and talk, and everyone else loves to talk about this. It does not make your food taste better. Your life doesn't improve. You don't become smarter. Like it's like witchcraft. It's like the focus on flat Earth is so strong. It's like, what life improvement does it have? What if we found out the Earth is actually a pyramid? is that going to make your day go any better? Like it doesn't make any sense. Like some people don't even leave their city. So why are they focusing on a flat Earth? And then when you get them to say the Earth is not flat, it's like, well, what does flat exactly mean to you? Like you said, well, the Earth is not flat. That's what he said. So I'm like, bro, we're going in a circle like the Earth and all the other. Bodies, but,
yeah. Like if you want to take the conversation into a circular argument, then you can if you want. But when we say the Earth is flat, we're saying that it is flat. But the terrain obviously is not just like you. That's common sense. The terrain is going to be, there's hills, there's mountains. We see this, but it's not a sphere. It's not a ball. There's no way that it's a ball. And you said, how does it improve your life? Because you're putting away all this pseudoscience, the pseudo intellectualism that surrounds the topic, like all of these math equations that don't relate to reality at all. They don't. You can create whatever model of the universe that you want to by reverse engineering it mathematically. That's a fact.
Okay, you do agree that the Israelites have festivals and Shabbats and new moons and such, right? You agree with that, right?
Yeah, I do.
With the 364-day solar calendar and 354-day calendar, if you were to go by that, all of the Shabbats, all the new moons, all the festivals all fall in on their time, which means what? Yahweh created all things mathematically and geometrically. That's a fact.
Facts.
So
yeah, that's a fact.
So there's no way you're going to get a flat Earth with this 364-day solar and 354-day lunar calendar. There's no way you can get that on a flat, unmoving surface. No way. There's no way you can do that. Are you familiar with like the sun and the moon and their powers as it pertains to man and woman? I'm sure you've seen my videos on that.
Man and woman. I actually don't know the man and woman sun moon thing. I never heard of that.
All right. Well, you know the semen is connected to the sun, right?
Didn't know that. No, I didn't. Oh well, yeah, because in sun worship, I do know what you're talking about.
No, not just sun. The people who worship the sun, they were like observing, and that's how they call that science, because they were observing certain things in nature, and they knew that it had something to do with the sun. Like I'm quite sure when you were 17 years old, or when I was 17, I would get a boner every morning. And not to be vulgar, y'all, I'm sorry. I would get a boner every morning at like 7:15 on the bus. And I will poke this girl in the back with it every morning, because the sun at a certain time, like right seed, sperm, that. Or how about the woman, babies, or her menstrual cycle is connected to the moon? You knew that, right?
Yeah.
All right. So now listen. So now again, if you want to believe the Earth is flat, that's fine. I don't have any problem with that. All I'm saying is, OTT, who I always get into with him, is why does he want to force that witchcraft on the people as if that is going to improve people's lives? Like, I don't see him being like, he has never told me yet, my food tastes better knowing that the Earth is flat. Like, I don't understand. Like, there's like way more things to be speaking about than flat Earth. Like, you got to think about it. There's a society created by a Freemason for people to like think and harp on this all day long and not focus on things that are important. Like that's how he is. So he's mad at me because I said Negi is not a practicing witch. Sure. Does he get into some weird crap? Yes. I would not. Like, I saw Aleister Crowley's folly, that shit he wrote or whatever. And I'm like, as soon as I saw ejaculating on a little boy, pretty much like, okay, I see what this is all about. I want nothing to do with this. Now, Negi goes further and studies this more. Now you say, and I'm saying this too, for the record, I told Torah Nices, I said, Negi is an Edomite. Negi is designed to go that way. For him, he'll tell you already. For him to be inclined to the right way, it's harder for him. Shit, it's harder for so-called Negroes can't get away from the Jesus penis. They're inclined to wickedness because they're following an Edomite doctrine. But Negi, they want Negi to act like he's an Israelite. Negi is not an Israelite. Okay? Like, he's not. Just like, I'm not trying to put Talina on the spot. Talina has Edomites in her family, but Talina is not an Edomite, which explains why she is able to do what she does, but you don't see Edomites doing it, and you can't even get Israelite women to even do it. So that's my whole point. So I got angry. I'm like, if you want to believe the earth is flat, and when you say flat, you mean the word roch in the Yahwadah, which means flat, like flat, one-dimensional. Like when you say flat, say flat. If all you can say is the earth is not spherical, then it's like that's a whole other argument. And then it's like, it's just nothing to argue about. But when you say flat earth, you got to say flat. This mirror is flat, bruh. Like the earth is not this mirror.
Can I say something?
But that's a technicality, you know. That's obviously a technicality.
Bro, that's
but go on.
Can I say something? I listened to this whole thing, right? This back and forth. Judah saying, y'all basically saying the same thing, but just like different measurements. So I thought it was just like flat, like a piece of paper, because I didn't really study this. So when y'all say flat, I'm thinking like flat, like a piece of paper. And when Judah says circle, I'm thinking about a sphere, like an orb, right? But then as y'all kept going, Judah just said he believes it's a circle, and you saying it's a different shaped circle. So
No,
what is this even about?
Not a
you
different.
said it was, you said it wasn't flat. You said it wasn't flat, but it wasn't a circle.
No, that's,
so that means different shaped circle.
And I've gotten many flat earthers to say,
twisting my words here. Nah, listen, bro.
I'm quoting you.
No. I said
flat.
Bruh, and in terms of terrain, if we're putting terrain into, but where everything sits is on a flat level, like where the oceans sit, they're sitting flatly. It's completely flat. But obviously, if we're taking terrain into consideration, the terrain itself is not all flat. It's not all level. That's just obvious. Like, to deny that is garbage. And then when I was talking about in being circular, yeah, I'm saying the Earth itself, the diameter of the Earth is circular, not spherical. So I'm not saying
that's what I said.
Exactly. That's what.
Different shape sphere. That's all y'all argue. That's all really talking about. It's not even an argument, really. It's like, okay, the circle shaped like this or the circle shaped like that, but it's still circular. So what is it about?
But they're saying flat. So when you say flat, like now if they said if the Earth is not a complete circle, it's shaped like an egg or it's like a squished orange or something, I'll be like, okay, fine, whatever. Okay, that's fine. Does it make my toast taste better? But when you say flat, you have to choose your words flat. When I go into a debate and someone says Messiah, I'm going to be like, do you know what the word Mashiach means? They're going to be like, yeah, Christ. Then we're going to get out the Yahwadah and see, does Mashiach mean Christ? No, you have to choose your words wisely. OTT is always talking about flat. This is flat. Look, the light is beaming off of this flat surface, but the light is not touching underneath here. So you guys are saying, you guys are using arguendo.
This is a straw man argument.
It's called common. Well, it's not common. Common sense is not common these days. But look, okay, wait.
You're not applying common sense.
I am.
So
you said
I'm not
flat.
sure
There's a light above. Lamad, you're neutral on this. You're not saying anything. No, Lamad, can you unmute your mic?
Con.
Is this mirror flat?
Yes, it is.
Do you see a light above it?
Yes, I do.
So common sense tells you the light is shining on top of this reflection.
Con.
Do you see any light shining underneath it?
No.
Okay, so you're right. When you say flat, you might want to change that to another word.
What does light shining underneath it have to do with anything?
The thing is.
No. What are you talking about? What do you mean by
the reason
light shining underneath it? What does that have to do with anything? Why does it have to shine underneath? Of course, it doesn't shine underneath it. It's revolving over the face of the earth. Why would it go underneath? That doesn't make any sense. Go on, Lamont.
The reason why I'm neutral is because I do see both sides, and I don't have the funds to verify it for myself. The only thing I question is the fact that we see the same surface of the moon. We've never seen the other side of the moon, and the Book of Enoch also says that the sun and the moon are both equal in size. So if that would be the case, how would is it equal in size from our perspective, or is it equal in size literally. So that's the reason why I'm neutral. It's because this is a very interesting topic, and the jury is still out. I've seen a lot of flat earthers on the YouTube community, and I've seen a lot of heliocentric subscribers on the same topic, and I don't see myself having enough evidence to support each one. That's why I'm usually silent on this topic, and then I find both arguments interesting when I listen. That's the reason.
Cool. I hear that. And when it says the Earth or the sun and the moon are relatively the same size, they're the same size. They're not. One isn't massively larger than the other and just 93 million miles away, and one is much smaller and 230,000 miles away. And it's not there. And when they talk about the craters in the face of the moon being made by asteroids, if we only see one face of the moon ever, then how is an asteroid even hitting that face of the moon? It's impossible. It would have had to totally ignore the Earth's gravity to then get in between the space between the Earth and the moon to then impact the moon on that face. It's not possible. So that's a total. There are too many errors.
And another thing is the argument is that the sun is spherical when there are sunspots on the sun, and I've witnessed this with my own. I have the primary experience on this when I put on the solar eclipse glasses. I did witness the sunspots on the sun, and they never change position. They're pretty much, it stays. It's very similar to the moon in that respect. So that's why I do have to take a neutral stance on this, because I'm learning things that I'm learning things that are taught contrary to me when I was growing up. So I can see why this can be a conversation where there's a lot of contention, because we've all grown up to learn the same thing with we've all been taught Jesus Christ, and later on we've learned that it's not true, and we've all been taught the heliocentric model too, in conjunction with Jesus. So that's the reason why I have this. I've always had a neutral perspective on this.
Can I just intervene for a sec? Sorry, I was just going to say, I remember when I was coming back from Hong Kong to Australia, and on the right-hand side of the plane, you could see the moon. On the left-hand side of the plane, it was daylight. So to me personally, if you see the horizon, and sometimes when you're in the airplane, you can see a bit of a curve on the horizon. To me, that kind of clarifies as circular.
Sorry, not to cut you off. I'm just going to explain that. When we're talking about you can see a curve from the window, you cannot see curvature from 33,000 feet, because you cannot see curvature from 120,000 feet using a weather balloon. The reason why you think you see a curve when you're looking out of a plane window is because all plane windows have to be rounded and curved to the cylindrical shape of the cabin. Otherwise, they will shatter due to the pressure difference inside the plane and outside the plane. That is a fact.
Sir, that's arcing window, and that's not a fact.
I just know what I saw.
Yeah, exactly.
Circle.
On one side of the plane is the moon.
Listen, no, that's a fact.
That's a fact.
Okay, wait, hold on. Trey, you got your Tanakh with you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got Isaiah chapter 40, verse 22.
Isaiah 40, chapter 22.
It was really cool too.
40, verse 22. Okay. It is he. It is he who sits on the circumference of the earth, with his inhabitants like grasshoppers, who spreads the heavens like a thin curtain and stretches them like a tent to dwell in.
On the what of the earth?
Sorry. Circumference.
What?
Word of Yahweh.
Yeah, the earth has a circumference. Yeah, that's a fact.
TK
what does circumference mean? What does circumference mean?
How do you mean? It's the circle.
Oh,
It's a what?
It's the circle, which we just discussed before.
Now,
It's a circle shape.
Is
The shape is a circle.
the Earth one-dimensional or what? Three-dimensional.
It's obviously three-dimensional. That does not mean
Okay,
it is a sphere. It is the circumference of the circular Earth.
Sir, if you get a circle and you have height, length, and width, that means you take a circle into 4 parts. Okay? If it's flat and it's only one dimension, you cannot get height, length, and width out of that. Sir, stop it.
But you can get a circumference of it. You can get a circumference of a circle, Judah. You can get a circumference of a circle. That is come on, bro. Like, I know you're more intelligent than that argument. You know that's nonsense.
Okay, wait. A piece of paper. Is there height, length, and width in that? Oh, there is?
Yeah.
Sir, stop it. He's saying basically
there's the length and the width. So you can't take the circumference of a circle.
Sir,
you're telling me that, Judah. You're telling me you cannot get a circumference of a circle. That is your argument. That's what you're saying.
Mean, sir?
Wait, no, I asked you a direct question. Can you get a circumference of a circle?
I'm answering you. The word kawag or kog. Does anyone have a stones? Lamad,
I have a stone.
I do. I got a stones now.
Look up the word cog. The CHAG. Cog.
Oh, get that, Lamont.
But this is not an answer to can you get a circumference of a circle?
We're getting it out of the Torah, or out of the Torah and prophets itself.
Okay. You gonna get my Stone's dictionary? Sorry, my Strong's. Yes. I said Stones. Oh, hold on. Okay, which number am I looking up?
Let's see which we're gonna go for. There's two. There's one that's 2287.
2287. One moment.
I don't know. Isaiah 40:22 says circumference.
Yeah, can you get a circumference of a circle? Just answer that question, yes or no. Can you get the circumference of a circle, Judah?
A circumference is a circle, sir.
So then what is your argument? You
said the Earth is flat.
And it is circular. And I said it is circular.
Red flag. Red flag. Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Okay, are you saying that the Earth is more like a quarter?
How do you mean?
In like
terms
a 25%.
Yeah.
So you're saying that you can get a circumference from a quarter, but the only my question to challenge you is, okay, what is beneath that quarter? Like, since we're in a 3-dimensional environment, what is underneath this flat Earth?
Well, so we can only dig 8 miles down, so I couldn't tell
I've heard that fact. Yeah, the Russians only dug 8 miles down. But what is beneath? What is beneath those?
Well, in some of the old models, like drawn out, the firmament surrounds a flat, like we call the Sheol or what is called the grave is underneath the earth, but we don't know how that goes under, but we know that the firmament encloses both the bottom and the top. So when we have the firmament over the top, it's also doing the same thing around the bottom, but we just can't, we can't get to there. We can only go so far.
Okay, I understand. What is that Strong's number again, so I can read it? I didn't want to digress. Hello, Judah. Sorry.
2287.
2287. One moment.
Yes.
2287 is Kanag, right? Kanag. It means to move in a circle. Example, to march in a sacred procession, to observe a festival, celebrate, dance, to be giddy, feast, holiday, reel, to and fro. Okay.
Okay. Can you go to 2328?
2328. 28. 2328 is it Kawag? It's to describe a circle, compass.
What's 2329?
2329 is Kawag as well. A circle, circuit, compass.
Okay. Does anyone know what the firmament is?
The firmament is a dome. It's also a glass encasing.
That'd be like when you look up in the sky and see the firmament.
Oh, you mean the how? Yeah, how about that word for that?
Yes.
One moment.
That would be 7549.
7549. Bear with me one moment. 7549.
Or I'm sorry, you can also go to 7534.
Seven, 5, 4, 9, and I'll go to that next one.
All right.
49 is Rakoya Wa. Sorry, Rakoya. I don't know if I pronounced that correctly. And it is to the okay. The in expanse, firmament, or visible arch of the sky, firmament. In other dictionaries, it also refers to this word as dome too. And then what is that other Strong's?
The other one was 7534.
75.
Arch of the sky.
34. It's a rock.
I'm sorry.
Rock.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Rock. It's a flattened out. Wait, as if. Wait, I'm sorry. In its original sense, I can't pronounce that word. Emaciated. As if flattened out. Lean, thin. That's the word for flat, right? Rock.
Yep. So the Earth is a circle, but the firmament is flat. He said that the firmament was up under the Earth too. But that's not what it says here. And it also says limitation, which is 7535.
No, sorry. It said the arc of the sky. So how are you saying that the firmament is flat? How does the firmament being flat make sense even on your model? How could you say the firmament was flat?
Lamont, can you read that again? 7534, please.
7534 rock. In the original sense, emaciated, as if flattened out. Lean, fleshed, thin.
You don't need to read it again. I'm asking a question. I'm asking when
you look up at the sky.
Yes.
It does not look. When you look up at the sky at the firmament, it appears as a flat thing of vapor, appearing.
What
do you mean it doesn't? Yes, it does. You don't see no curvature when you look up in the sky.
I don't see how you mean the firmament appears flat, but it isn't flat. Appearing and being, you're saying the firmament is flat. So if we live on a ball, how is the firmament flat?
That's like saying you can go up on top of a skyscraper and then look and see the curvature, the flatness of the Earth. You ain't gonna see nothing from a skyscraper. When you are on Earth and you look up in the sky, I am answering it. When you look up in the sky, you see a flat firmament. You don't see. But the Earth is circular, and that's why it says a vaulted or a curved thing. But from where you're standing, looking at it, it's flat. You don't see any curves.
I failed to see your point here. Like I don't know what point you were making here.
Okay, at nighttime, when you go outside at night and you look up in the sky in the firmament, and you see all the stars and the heavenly bodies, you don't see any curvature. You see flat.
And what's your point?
The firmament is flat from your perspective, but the Earth is spherical or round. With
well, wait. No. You add the spherical or round part to an argument that has nothing to do with the
arch. The sky is an arch. He read that in the Torah.
What does that have to do with the Earth being a sphere, bro? What does that have to do with the Earth being a sphere at all? That's a totally your John.
This is why me and OTT argue, because he does exactly what the Earth is. He goes in a circle.
I'm not going in a circle. I'm asking you direct questions, and you're bringing the. Listen, man. You're bringing.
When you look up in the sky, do you see a curve?
A curve in the sky?
Do you see a curve when you look up in the sky?
No.
Okay, so it appears as what? It's flat. But we know that the Earth is what? According to Isaiah 45, verse 22. And obviously the Earth would be inside. It would be underneath the what? The firmament. So the firmament would appear curved or arched according to its, relation to the Earth. But you don't see it because you're like a grasshopper, or not even like you're like a pinpoint on the Earth. You don't see the whole firmament. You only see what you, bruh. Come on, 100%.
Man. No, I agree with you. Only see a portion of the firmament, but I'm asking, how does the point that you're making now prove that the Earth is a sphere in any way?
Because the Torah just said that the Earth is a circle, and we have
a circle. A circle. Listen, a circle does not mean a sphere in any way. They're different. The shapes are different. A circle is not a sphere at all.
Is the Earth filled with valleys and mountains and hills and the depths and this and that?
Yes, positive.
And it's a totally different time where you are than where I am, right?
Yes. Yeah, we've been through this, Judah. Now you're talking about circular arguments. You're doing the same thing.
You're right, bro. Because that little mathematical thing right there, y'all can't get it. You have the idea.
What little mathematical thing that you're talking about? You haven't
dissonant.
No, you're not making a point.
Have you ever shot a rifle?
If you're about to talk about the Coriolis effect, then I can. There is no Coriolis effect.
Okay, you can always use arguendo for anything. Have you ever
shot a rifle? It's not arguendo. I personally have not shot a.
Okay, so okay. Well, I'm gonna tell you, when you shoot a rifle, you have to anticipate your object for like a half a second before you shoot.
Yes.
You do know that. So
yes, that is a fact.
It's spinning.
Listen, that is not true. When a sniper listen, if the Coriolis effect was real, listen, you're not using actual arguments.
I've shot a rifle before, sir.
I understand that. You take two things into consideration when you take a shot. You're taking elevation, wind, and wind direction. But when you're talking about the Coriolis effect, if you had to factor in, or a sniper had to factor in the Coriolis effect before he took every shot, he would have to be sitting there with a map and a calculator doing complex maths. And if his target moved, and no, you didn't. Before every shot you took, that's nonsense. That is total nonsense.
Ask any sniper.
No, I know there are trainers.
So they say that everything is just stationary and still. Bro, the atom moves.
Listen,
wait, hold on. Let's go down to the very core of the physical manifestation. The atom. Is the atom stationary? Because it builds up with the physical things you see around you. Is the atom stationary or flat?
Is the atom flat? No, we're in a 3D world. We're in a 3D world.
So, but you would agree that atoms and molecules, they comprise this material universe that we dwell in, yes?
I mean, according to science, everything is made of atoms, yeah.
But the atom's not flat. We have protons, electrons, neutrons. They even found more.
Nothing.
Do they move? Are they moving, or are they just sitting there stationary?
What? Can you continue with your argument? Because I want to know where it's going.
Is the atom stationary?
Are things vibrating? Is this what you're asking me? Are things moving?
No, I'm asking you, is it stationary? Is it you said that the Earth does not move. No, I'm saying that everything is comprised of the atom and molecule. So since everything is comprised of this thing, you get down to the root of the matter, is the molecule or atom stationary?
No.
Case closed, sir. You would be in prison if.
What?
They'd be leading you out, sir. They'd be leading you out,
Listen,
sir. You
I'm sorry, bro. Like you're not using.
Case dismissed.
You proved
sir,
nothing.
$25. Sir, you live in a world that's comprised of atoms and molecules. That is the very root of a physical manifestation.
What are you proving?
You cannot say that the Earth is stationary when it's comprised of atoms and molecules which are in movement. So that doesn't make any sense.
So the Earth is spinning.
Wait, say it again, Trey.
Bro,
the atom is a sphere.
I'm sorry, brother. It's like this is
hold on, brother.
This is not.
Trey, let the people hear. Trey, say it again.
The atom is a sphere.
It's flat.
When did this flat Earth start? When did flat Earth come out?
When this Freemasonic guy wanted to troll the public and cause yes, dude.
A rift. It's causing a rift.
Before that, the Catholic Church was trying to push flat Earth on people. People were getting put to death because they were going against flat Earth.
It's causing a rift. This is very suspicious. This is very suspicious.
Yes. Was the Catholic Church pushing flat Earth? Yes or no? And did they kill people who went against that?
Listen, I already spoke to you about this, Judah. I said publicly, the Catholic Church went out. Listen, publicly,
or no?
The Catholic Church.
Did people lose their lives for speaking against the Catholic Church teaching of flat Earth?
I can't verify that in any way.
Can someone pull that up on Google?
Before we pull that up, can I read something? I think I read this with the Strongs. It's Strongs of the firmament is 7549, right? Rakaya, extended surface, solid, expanse, firmament.
Let me say one thing. Here. Hey, Art, man, you call me some name one more time, bro. It's gonna be on. Don't be calling us no liars up here. We read the Torah up here. All right,
I didn't call nobody a liar. I didn't call no one a liar.
No, Art. Art is.
Oh, right.
He's saying liars in the chat room. Watch your mouth, man.
OTT's always he's calling Negi a witch, but clearly, if he was here, he would be like, well, he'd be using arguendo, and I would just be like, okay, so the Earth is shaped like a quarter, and I would just get a quarter out, put it under that light, and ask him, why is it not light underneath the quarter? Oh, well, brother, if you take a glass,
why would it be light?
No.
No one's making that argument. No one is making the argument that it would be light on the other side of the quarter. If you put that like on a surface, there would be light on the other side of the flat. So no one is making that argument at all.
Yes, you are, bro. You said the Earth is flat, like it's a sphere, like a quarter. Lamont said, "Are you saying the Earth is shaped like a nickel or quarter?"
Yeah, but I'm talking about light. We're talking about light right now. Why would it be light on the other side of the? I'm talking about the bottom side of the bottom side. Why? What argument is that? Why? I'm not even saying light would ever be on the bottom side, because of course it wouldn't. It would only be on that single face.
If the Earth is flat and we all are regulated by one sun and moon, it would be the same time across a clear surface.
No, it wouldn't. No, it wouldn't, yes, because we know that the atmosphere acts as a lens. We've been through this.
Hold on one second.
The atmosphere is water, bruh. It's vapor. It's not a mirror.
Hold on 1 second.
Oh wait, so you say it doesn't act as a lens? You're saying it doesn't act as a lens?
Hold on. Hold on,
man.
Let me say one thing. Hey, Red Flag, calm down. Take a breath. I'm
calm. I'm not.
All right, let me talk. I'm trying to talk. Y'all going back and forth. Hey, Art. That's fine. You're giving out scriptures right now, and you overlook what I just said, but you're gonna apologize for what you just said. I don't play that up in here. And you gonna call the whole Torah Knights, who you associate with, liars? For real? No, bruh.
You don't believe? I believe he did that. He's into witchcraft. The creator of the Flat Earth Society was a witch, and he's all up in it and teaches that to people. And believe
us liars.
It's on Negi. That's why you can't have. Listen, do you guys see? This is like arguing with a Christian. It doesn't matter what you show him. His mind, his reality is detached. Like he will deny God himself to like prove his point, which has no point.
No,
if
that's
the
pure
Earth
slander.
is shaped like a nickel and it's flat, but it's a sphere, it's circular.
No, it's not. Sphere and circular are not synonymous.
See, here we
sphere
go.
And circular are not synonymous. They're not synonymous words.
Lamont said, Lamont, ask what you asked again. About
I was asking if the terrain is a shape. You're getting a circumference from a circle, like a quarter. The thing is, okay, Judah, I hear what you're saying. Right, yeah, yes. But see, the evidence, or no. The argument online is saying that the light is localized, meaning that on this flat surface, the sun shines its light on particular parts of that quarter or that flat surface. That's what I've heard. Is that what's out there? Red flag?
Because we would say that the sun is within the firmament, and that is why you get the partial light. It's localized and it's shining through what would be a lens effect.
Can you prove that?
Hell no.
Well, there are small experiments to do so. I mean, you're saying hell no, but you've really not said much in terms of like things that make a point. You're talking about light doesn't get on the bottom side of a flat surface, but we're not even arguing that. Like you're bringing arguments that aren't even relevant to what we're talking about.
Is that scientific or is that opinionated?
No, that's not opinionated. You're saying that light isn't on the bottom surface of a flat surface, therefore it can't work. But we're not even talking about light reaching the bottom surface. It's not.
If you're going to talk about the Earth, talk about the universe. The Earth is sitting in a space like all the other heavenly bodies.
It's not sitting in space.
You just said that Sheol. You said that Sheol was on the bottom of the earth or some
under the earth, or underneath the earth. Yeah.
Okay, Sheol is not a physical place, sir. You do understand that man's soul is comprised in his blood, which is water, plasma, which is electric charges, and gas.
But you can also acknowledge that Sheol is also in reference to the physical grave. That's also true. Correct.
The physical grave,
correct?
Right?
Correct.
Wrong. The word kwabar is the word for a physical grave. The word Sheol is in place. It means for a residence of the dead, of the departed. It is a place where the spirits go. It is not where the physical body is laid. So that's where you guys are confused. OTT don't know what he's talking about because he has cognitive dissonance. Bruh, it's like Christianity, bro. I'm telling you.
It doesn't make like Christianity. Of course it does. The thing is, we're not getting to any actual point.
You guys are taking the earth and trying to separate it from all the other parts of creation that are even the other planets affect the earth.
There aren't other planets. The earth is the center of creation, and we are the center of creation. That's a fact.
So you believe in Egyptology? Because
not at all. Not at all. It's not. I don't believe.
Anyone see the picture of the guy sucking his own penis?
Well, come on, dude, bro. Like, I'm not gonna take. Listen, you're trying to use associative arguments. Listen, sir, you're using associative arguments to make me feel like a fool by adding parts that have nothing to do with what we're talking about. This is like talking about. Come on, man.
Sir, you said that you call this sun worship. First off, we don't even go. We're supposed to go by the sun's calendar. We're supposed to go by the moon calendar. That's one. Lunar. That's one. Two.
Okay.
You said there are. Did you just say there are no other planets out there?
No other spherical balls spinning around. No, none.
Huh?
So wait a minute. Hey, do y'all believe that? No. Y'all believe that? So when people go out and buy those big ass telescope thingies, they're looking at what? Like dirt
you
in the eyeball?
See it. If you buy it, you can see it.
Luminaries. They're looking at luminaries, and they're not spherical. They're circular.
What's the word for luminary? What does that mean?
Show me. Enlighten me.
It means light.
Okay, lights. Exactly. There are lights in the sky. So what does so you're saying they're spinning balls? They're all making them shine.
What is making them shine?
Only Yah knows what's making them shine.
You know what's making them shine. You know the only way you can see them planets is from what's light.
What the moonlight? Is this what you're trying to say? Because it's not the sun's light.
What does the moon get its light from?
The moon does not get its light from the sun. The moon is not a reflective surface.
Please,
it's its own light.
Where the moon gets its,
listen,
where the moon gets its light from, sir?
He created it as its own light. It's a lesser light. You know this, Judah. Read the scriptures. He created it as a light. It's its own light. It's not a reflective surface.
Hey, so if the Earth is flat, how come there's like a point A and a point B destination? Like, you should know where the beginning and the end of the Earth is. If it keeps going around in a circle,
that's true.
It keeps
that's
going.
True.
How come you can't walk to Antarctica?
That's true.
How come when I'm on a plane,
because there's an ocean
and there's the equator, I'm still talking. When there's the equator, you're in a different time zone. You can see the difference. You can see the sun. You can see the Earth, the moon. It doesn't make sense. What you're saying doesn't make sense. How come when I was in school, I got a telescope in the middle of the night with a group of kids, and you can see other planets?
Yeah, you can see lights in the sky. Yeah, well done.
No.
Lights in the sky.
No.
Yeah,
it's actually like Pluto and all of that kind of stuff.
But what you saw spinning spheres moving around. That's what you saw. You saw spinning
I saw planets.
Spheres. Yeah, you saw them spinning.
I didn't say I saw them spinning.
So you saw circles. So
I
you
saw planets. You can see if you get a strong telescope and you go to observatory,
telescopes.
You can actually see 3D spheres.
You could see it was a sphere.
Go and go to an observatory.
Listen, I've observed the luminaries through a telescope.
Is Saturn fake?
An observatory?
Is Saturn fake?
What do you mean? Is Saturn fake? It's a light in the sky.
It's not a planet.
No.
There's no ring around
it. It in the light itself, you could perceive does by how it's shaped in the sky. Yeah, but there's not a physical ring of rocks. Sorry, it's a circle.
Flat circle?
Yes, because circles can be flat. What are you talking about? What circles are flat? Circles are flat.
No, but seriously, why is it not A and B for the beginning and the end of Earth?
Can I just read something real quick? Just to hold on. Okay, I think I've read this before, but I'm reading it from another Strong's. It's the H7549 Rakaya. Extended surface, solid, expanse, firmament, expanse, a flat as base support. So I don't know. That's the reason why I feel I'm on the fence about this.
But Lamont, think about it, bruh. Listen to what he's saying. There's no planets out there.
No.
Do you believe that?
Well,
Even the ancients knew there are planets out there.
Now, okay, you're saying that these luminaries are not spherical; they're flat, flat coins to describe what I'm saying.
If that's how you wanted to describe it as a coin, then sure.
Now, what is behind those flat coins? Like the sun is a flat coin, for example.
The waters above the firmament.
So is there light shining from behind the sun, or see that's where I don't.
Yah created the lights. Yah created the luminaries. He created the lights in the sky.
No, I understand that, but what is behind the sun? That from our perspective, we see the face of the sun. What is behind the face of the sun?
How do you mean? What is behind the face of the sun?
Well, okay, this is what I mean. We live in a 3D. We live in a 3D world. Okay, we live in a 3D world. If I was talking to you face to face, if I was talking to you face to face,
correct?
Yes, you see my face. You can assume that I have a back, and I have the back of my head, and then when I turn around, you see my back, and you see the back of my head, and you can also assume that I have a face when you're looking at my back.
Obviously, of course.
Yes. So when I'm looking at the sun or the moon, we are looking at the face of the sun and the moon. What is behind these luminaries?
Of course, we don't know because we only see one face of them at any given point. We only see one face of them, so we could never know.
Right. This is where I kind of get lost, and we'll.
Okay, explain. So we do not, as far as I'm concerned, the moon is not a spherical object. It's a circle. It's a circular light. That's why
spheres
we
and
all see the same.
circles is the same thing, sir.
No, a sphere and a circle is not synonymous. Those are not synonymous words.
Okay, Lamont, what did you just read about the word kawag?
A sphere is circular, but a circle is not a sphere. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Do you hear this? This is arguendo. Do you hear this?
No, it's
this
not.
This is what happens. You arguendo. A sphere is not a circle, but a circle
because
is spherical.
a circle can be two-dimensional. Do you understand, Judah? That a sphere is not two-dimensional, whereas a circle can be two-dimensional. Therefore, they are not synonymous, but a sphere is circular. Do you understand?
He's talking about like you have an orange, that's a sphere. Then you have a circle like a coin. It's a flat circle.
That's flat.
Okay, right. Okay, so I'm going with his flat circle quarter coin argument. And he's saying, well, why are you bringing light into it? Well, because when you look up in the sky, you see a light. So we want to know, since the Earth is shaped spherical, it is circle, but it's flat, why is it light over here and dark underneath here?
Why? What do you mean underneath? No, I'm sorry, Judah. Judah. What do you mean underneath? Why are we talking about the underneath of that object? What does the underneath have to do with this?
Because we're living on the planet Earth, and right now it is 5:52 p.m. in the afternoon. What time is it where you are?
There's only one surface of the Earth. I'm not talking. There is no light underneath it. I don't know what you mean about going underneath this surface. Why are you saying there's no light underneath it? That has nothing to do with anything.
Is the sun shining where you are?
Yes, indeed it is.
It's dark here.
Yes, I know. We said
so
this.
If the Earth is shaped flat like a quarter, that means that look at this light up top. That means you're up here and I'm under here. So
no. That's not what we're talking. No, we're not saying.
Wait.
No, listen. We're not saying there are people upside down on the other side of the plane. We're saying we all live on the same face. Listen, Judah.
They're saying the flat Earth supporters are saying that the light is localized. That's their explanation as to why it's dark in certain parts of the Earth. They're saying that the light is localized. Yes.
So man is able to go to the sun and moon then. Because they're trying to say to you is the sun and moon are very, very close to the Earth.
Yes, that exactly. They're saying that the sun is approximately 3,500 or 3,600 miles away from the surface of the Earth. That's what I've been hearing.
And then so that means America really did go to the moon.
No, we're saying they're not physical objects that you can land upon. You can't land on the moon. It's not possible to land on the moon. It's
red flag.
It's a light. It's a light. Yah created it as a lesser light. That's what it is. It's a light.
You do understand that the sun is fire, right?
The sun isn't fire. No, the sun is not.
There's a core, but it comes out as a fire. You do understand that, right?
As a fire, no, I don't understand that. It's a fire. That's like a nuclear fission type explanation. That only you need the heliocentrism model to support.
Fire and gases, sir. And just like the moon, what does the moon regulate, sir? What does
it regulates the night?
You have to understand, you have to understand. Okay, you're right. Listen to me. You have to understand the Earth you live upon. This is our problem with you and OTT. Y'all are focused on the Earth and not the universe. The sun regulates. Its symbol is like fire. It has something to do with like gold. Okay, when you find gold in places, you can find gold in like cow horns and shit like that. That's the sun's power. Hold on, sir. Okay, it has to do with like the man. When you plant crops, the sun's rays have to shine down on the earth with water to produce, and this is where you get your semen from the food that you ingest. Now, for the moon, it is a physical object. It just regulates water, okay? That's why when you go to the ocean, you see the tides. That's from the moon. Babies being born,
is from the moon.
That's from the moon. The woman being pregnant, that's from the moon. It's the gestation period. The baby inside is encompassed with water. That's from the moon. Her menstrual cycle, that's from the moon. So
I'm not arguing that the moon regulates these things, because I'm saying what I would say to how the moon and the sun regulate the tides is because they're both working as electromagnetic properties. So the moon and the sun work as positive and negatives. Have you ever held a magnet next to water and seen how it reacts to the magnetic energy? It'll move. It'll bend. That's why when you have these two electromagnets moving across bodies of water, you get your waves, you get your tides.
Wait. So I'm going back to the other planets and all of that kind of stuff. How you said they're just lights. How come they're different colors?
Because y'all made them
because of all the gases in the atmosphere, in space.
What? There are gases in the atmosphere and space. Is this what you're telling me?
I've got it all in front of me.
There's no.
I've actually studied this at school. Like I went to school and studied.
Yeah. We all went to school. We all studied the same thing. What I'm saying is that what we studied at school is incorrect.
You don't sound like you went to school.
Yeah, that's what they say. But yes, that's what they say. But it's not really.
Don't disrespect the brother, Talina.
You gave me. Yeah, sorry. You gave me measurements earlier.
Wait, Talina, do you know who his dad is?
I don't care.
Well, Talina, Talina, do you know who his dad is?
Why do I need to know who his dad is?
Because his dad is very educated, Talina.
Okay, good.
So what you're disrespecting?
I said sorry.
She apologized.
I apologize.
She apologized.
Anyway, you gave a measurement earlier about how far away the sun is and how far away the moon is. How do you know that? How do you know that's the distance?
Sorry, I didn't give the measurements. Actually, it was
you
Lamad
said 3,600.
That was Lamad actually who gave. Lamad actually gave those measurements.
That's floating around on.
No, that was a theory. That was a theory.
I couldn't tell you exactly.
Pretty much.
You guys are just going around in a circle, finding something to fight about instead of finding something that you guys have in common.
I wouldn't say that's true.
I just said it doesn't really matter what shape the Earth is in. He can't go over in any ways. It doesn't improve his life.
I would say definitely matters.
But flat earthers, they focus on this everything. So much that there's like some other. There's like flat earthers. They have cognitive dissonance, and they focus on this so much that.
All you're doing is saying I have cognitive dissonance, running around and slandering me. No, it's just slander. This is not a dialogue. This is slander from basically everyone besides Lamad here.
This started with OTT and his witchcraft. It was started by a Freemason. Do you think?
No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't. The Flat Earth Society was started by a Freemason. Alex Gleason in the late 1800s already had this AE map. He wasn't a Freemason. We know that Flat Earth has been in ancient cultures for centuries. And
from who? Who was the major entity that started the Flat Earth?
Alex Gleason, who made the AE map. Who created the AE map? Let me just finish what I'm saying before you start talking over me.
Because you have to realize all these Freemasons and Knights Templars and all these, they're all connected.
This is not a dialogue, man. Like we're not able to actually have a conversation.
Red flag. What happened is what Jules was trying to tell you is that when Ott first came on in the chat room, he supposed to be with Torah Nice or whatever. He said Judah lied on him to protect this heathen boy. He was talking about Negi. That's what started this whole thing.
Yes.
And then Judah brought up about the flat earth that him and Ott don't have in common. So he came in already causing contention. We was all having peaceful talks till that message came. Now look at it.
And he will never come on and argue that shit. Because if you ask him,
OTT did apologize.
If the earth is flat, like a quarter, then we have enough technology to fly. You should be able to fly on top of the earth and go around and come up underneath that motherfucker. Where is the video footage of underneath the earth?
Well, I don't know what you're talking about underneath the earth. There is no underneath. The under is deep below the ground. It's below the ground. Do
y'all hear what he's saying? He's saying that the earth is not in space.
It's not in space. The earth is not in space. It's not floating in space.
So there's like some pillar like this, right? Physical pillar rooted somewhere, okay? Somewhere, and that the earth is just like sitting on top of it. So that man is unable to fly underneath to the edges of this limited coin-shaped sphere. That's what he's saying to you. Now that makes no sense. Okay, so
explain to me why it makes no sense, Judah, please.
Why it makes no sense? Because it's goddamn Catholic witchcraft. That's why.
You don't see. This is not dialogue. It's just slander. Look, I'm not staying in the chat because listen. It's just slander. Look, you're talking about I'm a Christian. You're talking about. Listen, this is not.
I didn't say red flag as a homosexual. I said we have.
What are you talking about, bro?
They can fly around the earth. They can fly.
Judah, wait.
Pictures of.
Can I ask one thing?
Red
flag.
I should be able to Google
Sorry,
image
Elia, for disrespecting you.
Hold on. I should be able to Google
and your father.
Google image underneath the earth.
I appreciate you saying that, Talina.
Okay, look. All I'm trying to find out is like, you know how you said there's no imagery up under the earth, because you know how there's the core at the center of the earth, which assists with all all the temperatures and all of that kind of paraphernalia.
In the heliocentric model, yes, correct. There's a core in the earth.
So if there's a core, wouldn't there be like a 3D kind of module around it?
Yeah, if we're saying that there's a molten core in the center of the earth, but that's only in the heliocentric model. We can't prove that there's a molten core underneath the earth. It's not provable. We can only go 8 miles deep, so we can never ever prove that there's a molten core to the earth.
So pretty much everything I'm bringing, we can't prove. Everything you're bringing.
But that's what I'm saying. The heliocentric model can't be proven. It can't be proven.
So therefore,
how do we know?
No, wait. Does it matter about the shape of the earth? If
I
you're
would
not
say yes.
living in the Torah and you're not doing the right thing, I'm not saying you should definitely be living in the Torah.
You should definitely be living in the Torah.
Flat Earth and the size of the earth or the shape of it could be a square, triangle, whatever you want it to be. It doesn't matter.
I think it definitely matters.
We don't worship the earth.
Yeah,
we worship Yahweh.
Personally, I'm just giving my opinion on this. I think it definitely matters because you would be happy to send your children through a school system that is teaching them something that is unsubstantiated.
No, homeschool.
Oh, well, that's really good. That is good. That's how I would teach my children. But in terms of the population of the world as a whole, our school system is happy to perpetuate something that cannot be substantiated and teach it to them as fact when they are young, so they don't even question it. They don't even have the mind to critically think outside of the box that they are placed in from an early age.
Okay.
And that is problematic, and it should be.
That's fine for him. That's fine for you to question things. That's fine to question things, but it's theory.
Yeah, it is theory.
It's opinion.
All it is.
You said opinion.
But if you're going to say that the flat Earth is theory, then you have to.
If you ask them, does the Earth edges have? Is there an edge to the Earth? You're going to get a whole bunch of folly with that. Is there an edge to the Earth?
Yeah, I would say the Antarctica. Yep. Yeah, the Antarctica surrounds the edges of the Earth and keeps the waters in its basin.
So Antarctica is the edge of the Earth.
Yeah.
Now, how high up in does the ice walls reach up to heaven?
No, of course not.
So then we should be able to fly above the ice walls and look at the edge of the Earth. Yes or no?
Like Richard Byrd said he did. Like Richard Byrd said he did in the Project Icebreaker when he did his Antarctica expeditions. But guess what? Nobody can do any more expeditions over there since he did that. They did the Antarctic Treaty, and now no one can go there.
Was he flying or was he on a boat?
He was flying.
And he saw the edge of the Earth.
He says that when he got past it, he found a continent the size of North America past the ice. And that if that would have been that's what he says. But obviously
so that
we can't
hold up in court.
Yeah, we can't
no picture of this.
No, this is what I'm saying. I'm literally agreeing with you. I'm literally agreeing with you in saying that we can't prove that to be true. But my point is that nobody has done it since because they made the Antarctic Treaty and no one is allowed to do it anymore. So, no, we can't just go over there and check it out because it's not possible. It's the only treaty that all the countries have.
Who is the authority that created this Antarctica Treaty?
Sorry?
Who is the authority that said you can't go
the
past
UN.
This mark?
The UN.
Right? Now, let me ask you a question. The UN, are they Freemasonic?
Yes, definitely.
Okay.
Now, do you know the Freemasonic books they're a secret society, right?
Correct.
You do realize that they publish books and writings that are not meant for general consumption, right?
Correct.
You do understand that they say globe, 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 globe in their writings, don't you?
Sure.
Now, why are they talking
I'm not positive
calling it a globe, but then when it gets on YouTube, all of a sudden the Earth is flat in their society that they created for the public to consume? Why are they talking amongst each other it's a globe, which Freemasonry controls the world?
Because
all the government's connected to Freemasonry. Hold on. Why are they talking amongst each other that the Earth is a globe? But all of a sudden on YouTube,
well, they're not talking amongst each other if they're publishing books. Sorry, Judah, they're not talking amongst each other if they're publishing writings. So that's just not the case.
Have you guys ever been to the edge of land?
Did you hear this, Folly? I have books that are not meant for general consumption, and they're talking amongst each other that the Earth is a globe. But when they come out for you, they tell you that it's flat. It was not a human being sitting there being like, you know what? I think the Earth is flat. I'm about to make a YouTube video. And then all of a sudden everybody was like, you know what? That sounds good. It's just like these weak-ass rappers with purple dreads, green dreads, red dreads, pink dreads. Someone is mass-producing this shit. So, like, it's someone's behind it. Now,
100%. But Judah, you got to understand, just as there is a Jesuit influence in the Flat Earth movement, which is 100%, I'm not arguing that. I've covered this on my channel before. But there's also a Jesuit influence and Jesuit control in the Hebrew Israelite movement. That does not mean that Hebrew Israelites are fake. That doesn't mean that the so-called Negro is not the Hebrew Israelite. That just means that the Jesuit have latched onto something that's true and decided to take those people in a certain direction. And it's the same thing that they do with everything. So to write it off just because there is a Jesuit influence, you would be writing off a lot of truths, and you would be writing off a lot of things that you can study for yourself and actually discern for yourself to have truth in them. But you have to kind of cipher through all of the lies to get to where the truth is. And it's the same with the Hebrew movement. If you just took IUIC as the truth, then you would be off. But does that mean there's not something true in what they're doing? Of course not. There is something true in what they're doing. That is what they're latching onto to promote it. And it's the same thing with the Flat Earth movement, man. The Flat Earth Society, all these propped up channels are doing the same thing.
Okay, now, we don't need Jesuitism and all that. We have the Torah here to tell who is what and who. Now, so when the Jesuits and all them and the Rosicrucians come in with their folly, to us who study the Torah, it's totally obvious. Now, I'm saying I have Freemasonic writings, and remember, I'm one of the first ones, the first ones to even come out, even bring out the Masonic and Freemasonic and Jesuit Rosicrucian influence in the Israelite movement. Okay, I'm one of the first ones to come out and tell people what the degrees are and what the passwords are and what they mean, and compare them to the Torah and bring up the temple and this and the other. I have Freemasonic writings that are not meant for your consumption, and they talk amongst each other. It's not meant for the public, where they know that the Earth is a globe, and they speak of it as such. But all of a sudden, can I finish, please? But all of a sudden, when I come out and I watch the people who don't know what the hell is going on in life, because they're trying to get a new world order going, and the best way to get everyone's mind thinking new world order is to believe that everything is connected to each other. That's the goal. So now you got people being like, that's why I said, is there like a limit to the Earth? Can you like fly off the edge? Like you know, we have the technology to do that. We have China has flying drones for people just to fly themselves, citizens. So we've had technology to do that.
Of course.
So what I'm saying is you're saying there's no planets out there, which is absolutely false. Even ancient cultures knew that. They are solid, okay? Just like the Earth has solid with it. The atom is not flat. All physical things are comprised of atoms and molecules. They are not flat. They move about and rotate and vibrate, just like all things in creation, including the human being. Listen, Freemasonry is controlling the world. Again, I'm going to say it again. Amongst each other, they know that the Earth is a globe. But the people are not privy to what they're doing. So what are you getting? You're getting a bunch of flat Earth folly, okay? And you ask a simple question. I mean, like, bruh, you're saying that that the Earth is not suspended in space.
Nope.
Hey, when I read Isaiah 40:22, right? Me being a person that doesn't study all this science and get into all this flat Earth and circle or whatever, but the word of Yahweh says, when I heard he said he sits on the circumference of the earth, that's all I needed. I don't get why I need to know the measurements and the shapes and the sizes.
circumference doesn't
all
mean
that
globe,
stuff.
though, Traytel. Like, I understand what you're saying, but circumference does not imply globe in any way. It doesn't mean a globe. Like, you know this.
I didn't say it was. I didn't say anything what that meant. I just read it, and that's all I needed. What it meant to me.
Wait,
all right. Okay.
Globe. You doing some kind of like circular arguing or something. I didn't even say globe.
I thought that's what you were implying, that you read that. And
you
so
thought I was implying it?
Yeah, that's yeah. Of course, I think that's reasonable.
Think about what you just said.
No, I think that's reasonable to understand. You said that's all you needed to come to a certain conclusion, correct? So I assumed that conclusion meant you thought that that's all you needed to believe is a globe.
That's like I come home from work. My wife says, "Are you hungry?" And I slapped the taste out of my mouth because I said, "What? You think I ate some chicken earlier?" You
I don't know what you're talking about.
You applied
I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about, Tracy.
Let me say something.
That's strange.
Okay.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Trey and I, we went on this trip across Australia, right? And you know Australia is supposedly if it's a flat earth theory, it would be at the bottom of the, like towards the end of the earth. We stood, I don't know if you've got a map, the Great Australian Bight, which is right down the bottom of Australia. We look straight down and the earth is way above and then the water's all the way down the bottom. So it's kind of like a sink. But the thing is, you can't see anything further. If it was a flat earth, you'd be able to see Antarctica, which is right next to us.
No, because it's perspective vision. Your vision works in a triangle. I know you're shaking your head, Judah, but this is a fact. If you think you can see all the way, whatever distance you want, just because there's nothing in front of you, your horizon rises to eye level. Let me finish what I'm saying.
Can we just get
one? Hold on 1 second.
I have some questions for both.
Can we get one scripture where it says that ice is at the edge of the earth? Just one.
It doesn't make sense if it's at the
edge. Hey, 1 second.
Because if I'm not,
okay, look, this is not a productive dialogue, people. This is not. This is not a productive dialogue in any way.
You're right.
It's really not.
Because these theories that these Masons put out, they know that it causes contention because it doesn't make any goddamn sense. That's why.
No, it's because we're not.
Sensible, logical mind is going to fight against something that makes no sense. So then it causes contention. Listen to what you're saying, bro. I said, is there a limit to the Earth? Or is there an Earth edge limit? You said yes, or Antarctica. Yes. So I'm asking you, if you believe in the word Yahweh, show me the word is Korach. Show me where it says that the Earth is surrounded by ice. Just one verse.
It does not say that the Earth is surrounded by ice, but the Earth has to be held in a basin. The waters need to be held in a basin. We know.
Why does it say that? Where does it say that in the Torah? Where does it say that? It needs to, if that's true, Yah would support that and substantiate that because this is a book of science, mathematics, and geometry. Now, where does it say that the word Korach that ice is surrounding the edge of the earth all around? That's shaped like a quarter. Where? It would say it one time. Where is it? Because it says here, the heavens and the earth, when the earth was astonishingly empty, with darkness upon the surface of the deep, which means it's this formless void. Okay, earth was this formless void.
Right.
And Yah began to make things appear in height, length, width, all of that. Okay,
so if that's your argument, sorry,
can I finish?
All right.
Sorry, can I finish?
Right, okay. Go on if you want to go on, sure.
Now, you said, and this is what you said. You said there's a firmament or something underneath the earth.
I said that was drawn in one model. Yeah, it was drawn in one model that the firmament not only enclosed the surface or the face of the earth, but also enclosed that which was underneath.
Okay, now let's just roll with that. Is it physical?
A physical firmament?
Whatever is underneath the earth, is it physical?
What do you mean? Sorry, what is underneath the earth? Is it physical?
I'm saying like all the other planets and heavenly bodies, they're in this thing what we call space. You're saying there is something that is underneath the earth that's planted somewhere. I don't know where you think that the earth is planted in somehow, but according to you, there's like something underneath the earth that's planted somewhere that keeps the earth where it is, what keeps it stationary. So I'm asking you, is that thing physical?
I assume it would have to be, right? We don't know these things, though, because we can only go so far into the ground.
Okay, so, but according to the Torah in Genesis chapter 1, it strictly says the waters. The waters, there's the waters above and there's waters below that manifested on earth.
Yeah, it's all
vapors.
No, listen,
brother.
you made a point. You made a point. Let me counter your point. Okay, that would work in the dialogue.
I'm not even done yet, brother. Wait. Where does it say in the Torah that? Listen, you're right. I agree with you, brother. That arguments, things like this, theories like this, I know why they're cleverly devised. I get it because it causes confusion and contention. I get it. So I know that OTT sounds possessed because that shit is demonism. I'm telling you, it's like arguing with a goddamn Christian.
All right, look, brother, that's all you've been doing all day. It's just been like.
You're right, brother.
No, he said you sound possessed.
Yahweh said that it's circular. You said that there's ice around the edges. I asked you, where in the Torah does it say there's ice around the edges?
Yeah, but Judah, where in the Torah does it say the earth is spinning around the sun? Don't you think he would have mentioned that? Then, Judah, where does it say that the other planets are spinning around the sun? Where does it say
let's get to Exodus chapter 12, okay?
Yeah, okay. I'll go there.
This is a new year for you. Exodus chapter 12, verse 1. Yahweh said to Moses and Aaron in the land of Egypt, saying, "This month shall be for you the beginning of the months, and it shall be for the first of the months of the year." So you know that we have 12 months. So you know that there is something's moving. So now I'm going back to
the sun is moving.
What?
The sun is moving. Yes, correct.
Everything is moving. That's called life.
No, it doesn't say that. It doesn't. Judah, you skipped the question. If you're asking me about an Antarctic ice wall in the Torah, then you have to tell me in the Torah where it says that the earth is spinning around the sun. If that's the argument you want to make, then you have to back up your side. Because no, there is no ice wall in the Torah, but there is no spinning around the sun in the Torah either.
Is there an equator? Is there an equator?
Yes.
You're cut again. You're cut again. What do you mean, why? Everything is moving around the sun.
No, the sun is moving around the earth.
That's why it's a 354 lunar year and a 364 solar year, sir. What are you saying?
The sun is moving around the earth. That's what I'm saying.
Is there a limit to the earth? Is there a limit to the earth?
We've okay. Look, let's call it a day because we've
circle.
It's because you're bringing it back to a circle. You keep bringing it back to the circle.
It's you that's doing it. You guys are doing this witchcraft shit, and it's like arguing with a Christian. You're gonna get. He's gonna say that everyone is.
You're
Jesus.
literally saying the same things over and over again. Like I don't know what.
I told you this shit is designed to create arguments. It's designed to create contention. Where does Yahweh say the edges of the earth
divides people, but it's not.
Where does Yahweh say the edges of the earth are surrounded by ice?
Sir, where does it say? Where does Yah say that we're spinning around the sun? Where does Yah say that there are other planets that He created that are also spinning around the same sun? Where in the Torah does it say that we're part of the Milky Way galaxy, full of other suns and other planets that He created? You can't use that argument because not everything is.
How many heavenly bodies are there in our universe?
Heavenly bodies in our universe.
All of them.
You mean luminaries in
our immediate universe? How many heavenly bodies are there, including the Earth?
I don't know.
So how can you argue with me about things you don't know? This is like Garfield Reed arguing with me about Egypt.
There's
10 heavenly bodies. There's 10. That's why you have the Temple Man and you have Kabbalah with the 10 Sephiroth with the 10 circles, bruh. That's what I'm telling you. You even have the menorah with the 7 branches for the 7 planets, excluding the sun, moon, and earth. Bruh, this is
for the luminaries.
Ancient wisdom.
What does that have to do with spinning balls? What does it have to do with...
Sir, if they're luminaries, that means they're light. Luminous means light. What's making them shine?
Yah made them as lights. So they are lights.
Are they bigger than the sun?
No.
Do they cause light? Do these stars cause light on Earth?
Correct. Yeah, of course. They're lights.
Oh, wait a minute. Stars cause light on Earth?
Well, you can see the stars, therefore they are shining light to the earth. Otherwise, you wouldn't see them.
Causes light on Earth, sir. At nighttime.
What are you talking about? You asked. Well, yeah, okay, correct. Because it's lesser light.
Chapter 1. Let's go back to the sun and the moon again, bruh. That's what I told you. This is Christianity. It's not an accident that flat Earth was first proposed by the Catholic Church, bruh. It's not an accident.
It wasn't flat. No, of course it wasn't. That's nonsense.
Are promoting this. There's a Freemasonic Flat Earth Society, sir. It's not an accident. All you have to do is look at who is doing what. Where's the shit coming from? It's not coming from the ordinary citizen. It's coming from some entity. And at nighttime, the moon causes the light to shine upon the earth. This is where you get the waves of the sea, which waves come every 18 seconds. Do you know that the moon is the 9th sphere? The babies are born in 9 months in the mother's womb.
Look, let's call it a day, Judah, because this is not going anywhere.
I know, bro,
and it's not been going anywhere.
Your argument is designed to cause contention.
No, it's not. You just
you cannot use the Torah to justify witchcraft, bro. You can't do it.
That's what you were doing. So
I'm not the one saying the Earth is flat. You are. Clearly,
you're the one saying that the Torah says that there are somehow spinning around the sun. That's what you're trying to say. So I don't.
So then we went to the moon then. We went to the moon then.
No, of course we didn't go to the moon. No, not a chance.
Why not? It's real close by. Why couldn't we?
Well, we've already said this exactly.
No, we didn't say anything. You never addressed. So then we've been.
No, I literally did. I said it's not a physical object. I literally said it's not a physical object. We've already been here. We've been here, Judah. This is what I'm saying. So we just have to give it a rest. We have to call it a day.
So nothing is physical except for the earth.
No, that's not what I said. Nothing is physical. But these are made as lights. I said the lights are made as lights. We've said. Look. I'm saying let's call it a day, Judah, because it's not going.
You guys should set up like a debate or something.
Yeah, I'd be down to do that.
Talina, do you realize that if you debate, is this going to cause contention? They're going to say, this is a theory. This is a theory.
So all of a sudden, Mr. Debate doesn't want to debate.
If you ask for, if he's an atheist and he says this, that's one thing. If you stand on the Torah like OTT says he does, which he clearly does not, he wouldn't be associating with Freemasons.
That's not fair to say. That's not fair to say that you don't stand on the Torah.
Because there should be, sir.
I don't think claims that you're making.
Sir, we've been to the moon then, right?
No, I didn't, bro. No. We of course they haven't. Listen, Judah. I'm saying let's give it a rest, bro, because it's not going anywhere.
What about the seasonal changes and stuff?
No, listen. I'm not having this conversation with y'all because this is not it's not a positive conversation at all. We could have had a positive dialogue.
But it's witchcraft. You can't.
No,
you can't marry that with the Torah.
Look, we could have easily had a civilized conversation about it, but it didn't turn out that way, unfortunately.
Right. Because I said, show me the Torah where it says that the Earth's edges is surrounded by ice. And
I said, show me the Torah. Okay, look, let's just.
You said that Yahweh was sitting on a sphere. I mean,
a circumference, a circle.
Yeah. We've already talked about this.
I just had basic.
So, I mean, you didn't say sitting on a flat.
Yeah, a circle, not a sphere. There's a difference between a circle and a sphere.
So that's as close as you're going to get to the proof, I believe. If you don't have faith in that, then whatever.
Right.
I'm sorry.
I think it's all about faith.
I'm sorry, guys.
Yeah, you shouldn't have faith in the model of your universe, because that should be proven.
It's all good. Basically, shalom to you, to everybody on the panel. I came in late, but but I just want to say, I think we all know it's for the better good to leave this situation alone. But I did have I had two basic questions for both of you all, because I agree with both of you, but I disagree with both of you at the same time. Because I feel like obviously this is made up by the Masons. Their whole basis is lies. So obviously they made this for contention. So obviously it's already wrong there. That's step one. So what I'm saying is, I have two basic questions for both of you guys, and I just want you to answer them. My one question for Red Flag would be, you said that there's no molten core.
Mm-hmm.
Now, my question would be to you was, okay, where does the energy come from to drive the magma that comes from volcanoes? I wanted to know that question, and I wanted to know what causes the boiling of at the bottom of at the sea. They have what they call volcanic pipes. They boil at the bottom of the sea, but the water around it will be freezing. That's one question for you. I just want to know. Where's the energy come from to drive the magma to get to the temperature it has to create new land surfaces and new land masses? That's just the question.
Yeah, that's a fair question. We know that there is a heat coming from underneath the surface of the earth. We know this for a fact. But the problem is we can't in any way prove that there is a core made of lava in the center of the earth, because we know that volcanoes don't have their magma taken from the core of the earth, because that's way too far for it to even imagine. Volcanoes don't even go close to that deep under the ground to reach the core of the earth. So we know that's not where they're not drawing their magma from. So
but I have a follow-up question to your exact answer.
Yeah, sure.
If that's the case, then that means that it has to be a higher amount of energy beneath the magma that is produced at the edge, because it is cooled by the water on the outside. It has to be something hotter driving the force to create the magma, because there has to be a very high temperature to boil rock.
Correct. Yes. Yeah. It would have to be very, very high energy. I wouldn't be able to tell you where the energy came from myself. Because I haven't studied volcanoes or volcanic activity, but what I can tell you is that we know that volcanoes don't go near deep enough to reach the center of the earth. Told you, Wish guys. See, like this is not. This is supposed to be a conversation.
Thank you.
But that was sorry. I'm not talking to you, Jacob. But Isaiah. Sorry, I'm not. But go on.
Thank you. That was nice. Now for Judah, my question for you would be, Shalom, Chris.
Peace. Finally got back in.
My question for Judah would be, the ancient civilizations have various amounts of different ways to calculate steps or patterns, which now today's it's like time. It's time. Basically, the pattern of which things happen is what they calculated time. So basically, if you were to interchange or do something with the pattern of things, you would be able to mess with time. Hence the Mandela effect. Whitey knows about this. If you change the patterns, you sort of mess with time and the different vibrations of things. What I'm asking you is, how do sundials still work to precision time to this day? If they're on a flat surface, but they have a linear projectile from the middle point, well, it kind of be like 7, but it's more like a table with the globe over the top. Sundials are still able to calculate the sun's direction, which is pretty amazing. That would be my question to you, sir.
Yes, the old ancient civilizations used to go by what they, what he calls helios, but it's not even. It's just movement of the heavenly bodies around the sun. This is how they were like doing it. They were like, do you guys know about the Great Year? It's 25,920 years.
How many is that 12 years?
Well, you have say you have like the 12 zodiacs, right? For each house is 2,160 years for each house. Let's say July. It will be 2,160 years, which that adds up to what? Well, you have
9.
Okay, for every there's supposed to be 30 degrees in every house, correct? Do you know how many years it takes to get from 1 degree to the next?
Was it 7?
You're very close. 70.
72.
Yes, what you know is
9.
There you go. So they the ancients used to watch, and they can calculate the times of this. So do you see how I'm showing you this? This is even in the Torah.
It's all a circle cycle.
Yeah, that's and then you even the Hindus have the Great Year. The 25,920 years is they call it the Kali Yuga, the Great Year. So this is just people were always observing. Abraham himself went into Egypt and taught the Egyptians the sciences of geometry, and even though the Kemetic guys will deny that, that's the truth. He came in there and taught them the sciences of geometry through observation of the heavenly planets, and the orbits and the seasons and the times. And this is how you begin to get architecture and this, that, the other, and so forth and so on. This is like the secret that people don't want you to know. That's why I'm always telling people yo, like study the Torah, man, like the science, mathematics, and geometry of it, because it's going to tell you about our universe and like things. So, and I was explaining to the brother Red Flag about their real quote unquote Hebrew year is the 364 year solar year and the 354 year lunar year. And to catch up, you know, there's the 10-day difference, right? 64, 54, right? Every 3 years, you have to add on an extra lunar year to make it even up, right? So we're dealing with like geometry and things here. As far as like manipulating like time and things like that, I'm not so sure it's even like in man's grasp. But then again, like we are dealing with like, you know, people are doing super colliders and all types of stuff or whatever. Like, you know, like the angels were like in Genesis 1 were like telling the truth. Like it gets to the point where people or human beings have studied so much of the physical, they begin to know how to like manipulate things. I mean, that's like magic, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, like that's like it's real. But they know how to do it on a bigger scale now because the capabilities are a whole lot more. You know what I'm saying? So that Mandela effect, I believe that. Like no doubt about it. I brought my wife in and showed her like Febreze. If I'm not mistaken, I think Febreze is spelled Feebreze. And like somehow it like changed. Pikachu used to have a pure yellow tail. Now he has like a black stripe. Like I've been like watching this being like, yo, I specifically remember things being like this, but now they're like that. So I agree with you 100%. I don't know nothing, you know, I don't know how to like manipulate time and all that or whatever, but do I believe it? I believe that, yes, I believe that high sorcerers know how to like do stuff.
Somebody need to mute their mic.
So sorry, did you answer the question there though, or were you just?
I don't
like,
know how to manipulate time. I do believe they know how to. No, I did answer the question. People have been observing the times since ancient times, and I gave you the great. You guys, Red Flag. Do you know about the great year?
But this wasn't the brother's question. Is my point.
Sorry, you're just gonna keep dodging the question. You're gonna answer a yes or no. Did you know about the great year?
I'm talking to you about dodging the question, Judah. I'm saying that you didn't answer the question. I'm saying that you were just talking for a question. Okay. If that's fine. That's fine.
Time since ancient times, man. Enoch even gave you the times.
That is absolutely true. But it okay.
All right. What do you want me to say? I flew up and I went back in time and recorded time myself, bruh. Like other cultures have also been observing time as well. Okay. And they all agree we go by a 25,920 great year cycle, and we have a 364 day, we have a 360 day. If you do a 360 day lunar or solar year, you would get like 30 days for every 12 months. So people have been, you know, even the Egyptians had like 10-day weeks. It's just, you know, you can divide. It's mathematical, man. You can divide up the time. So how they?
Oh, he answered my question, Red Flag.
Okay.
We went through the cycle of 9. Then 9 represents the cycle, because after the 9 you get back to 1. It represents the circle, you know, because the cube is nothing. It's like the cube is like the infinitely moving in all directions circle. You know, it's like energy. It's hard to explain, but it's 9. It's the cycle. It's a circle.
Yes, and when you get to 10, you still get back to 1.